really like my teacher.
I'm glad. No one's like that in 7th grade. Okay. So today we're going to start with a very big question. And this is a theme we're going to have throughout our entire year here in 7th grade art. And our question today is why art? Throughout this year we're going to be discussing why do we have to study art in school, and why do we do these projects, and what relation can art have on our society and our personal lives and in our community and in our own education. So we're going to do this really big broad project all semester long and all year long. But today I just want to talk about a few functions of art. We're going to talk about 3 functions of art and then look at some images and discuss why these functions are important. So function number 1 is a practical function. Practical function is art that we use every day, art that fills our day-to-day needs. Can anybody give me an example of functional, practical art that we use?
Like if you have to draw a map. So
Yeah, good. Yeah?
The little man drawn on the sidewalk that
Yeah.
tells you you can cross.
That's good. How about any utensils we use? Is there anything functional that we might have? Yeah?
Well, someone has to design chairs.
That's true.
So yeah.
Anybody else have any other? How about the clothing we wear? Is clothing artistic? Yeah?
Architecture?
Exactly, architecture too. And how about if you go to a pottery place or a ceramic place, are they making functional items there? Yes. Okay. Our first example for our functional art, I'm going to show everybody this image. It's this image right here. It's made by Maria Martinez that lived around the 1880s. Can you tell me what is artistic about this as well as functional? This object right here on the top? Yeah?
It's a pretty bowl, but you can also fill it with stuff.
Exactly. Do the decorations make it artistic as well as functional?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, let's move on. Our second function is a cultural function. Cultural functions serve us in many different ways. They tell us something about the culture or something about the history of the objects we have. They can be monuments. So the Lincoln Monument in Washington, D.C. is a cultural object. Does anybody know, can you tell me what it teaches us about our particular culture? Does everybody know what the Lincoln Memorial is? Yeah?
It's on the penny.
It's on the penny?
Teaches us about our past.
Very good. Teaches us about our past. And also some aspect of our past. So our example for our cultural. I'm going to show you this painting right here. This is by Georges Seurat. It's called A Sunday Afternoon on Le Grand Jatte, and it was painted in 1884. It's a beautiful painting. I was just in Chicago this weekend and I saw it. Can anybody tell me what this painting tells us about French culture in the 1880s?
It shows what people wore.
Exactly. Anything else?
They sat around a lot and did nothing.
It was a Sunday afternoon, so we know from this painting that certain French people had the leisure of hanging around and having a leisurely afternoon. Yeah?
Shows you what kind of toys kids had.
Yeah. And what about these people specifically? Did they look like people who needed to be working the next day, or do they look more affluent, or what do you think?
What is affluent?
What is that?
Are they dressed really nicely, or are they look like they have less money than perhaps other people?
Nobody had a lot of money.
What do you think about these people? What is this painting telling us about these people?
They're rich. They have a lot
They
of
have
money.
fancy clothes.
Yeah.
Why is the painting all pointy and grainy?
It's
ugly.
called a pointillist
I think it's an
painting.
ugly painting.
Well, it's art is in the eye of the beholder, so you're welcome to think that. But we are going to look at this painting a little bit more in our later section and maybe even try some of these techniques when we
It's
do
really
get into
small.
painting. It's small in the picture, but it's a really, really large painting.
How big is it?
It's about 10 feet across, so really, really big. Okay, so we are going to move on to our next function. And this is the function we're going to be talking about most in our section here in 7th grade art. And this is the personal function. Personal art tells us something about the artist's feelings or the artist's thoughts. It's something that comes straight from the artist ourselves. And we are going to be doing a lot of this kind of art in our section here. So it's